Good afternoon. Here is the news at noon. First, the highlights. Lagos State government set to revitalize commitment amid 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. Military destroys 34 illegal refineries, recovers over 80,000 liters of stolen crude oil. And the foreign far-right candidate, Kalin Georgescu, set to win Romanian presidential election. And in sports, Nottingham Forest expresses confidence of Nigeria's Ola Aino signing of new contract. And now the details. I am Mike James. Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency DSVA is set to revitalize commitment during the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. To mark this year's campaign, the DSVA, in partnership with the Rule of Law and Anti-Corruption Program, with support from the European Union, will engage traditional rulers to amplify the message against gender-based violence, GBV. This is in recognition of their influential roles in shaping societal norms, as these leaders will champion behavioral change and urge their communities to reject violence in all its forms. Other activities planned include town hall meetings featuring key speakers addressing SGBV and its various forms, as well as 2 awareness works in Ekpe and Elegushi areas of the state. The 16 days of activism against gender-based violence serves as a global call to action to renew commitment, demand accountability, and drive meaningful change for countless women. The 2024 theme, Towards Beijing Plus 30, Unite and End Violence Against Women and Girls, reflects a global commitment to progress and aligns with the campaign's timeline from November 25 to December 10. The initiative calls on government, civil societies, and the private sector to strengthen efforts to prevent all forms of violence against women and girls, emphasizing that such violence is preventable. In a related development, wife of the president, Oluremi Tinubu, has joined the global community in commemorating the International Day for the Elimination of Violence Against Women, marking the start of the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. Mrs. Tinubu noted that although Nigeria is making remarkable progress, many women and girls, especially in rural and underserved areas, remain trapped in these cycles of violence and inequality. She noted that all must take collective action across all sectors of society, saying reporting and timely prosecution of perpetrators, increased support for victims and survivors are vital to creating safer environments for women and girls. Gender-based violence remains one of the most widespread human rights violations, with nearly 1 in 3 women worldwide experiencing physical or sexual violence in their lifetime. In Nigeria, harmful practices like child marriage and female genital mutilation are still prevalent, often justified by cultural or religious norms. The Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, has reiterated the critical importance of proper container securing and latching by truck drivers and owners. General Manager of LASMA, Olaliko Bakarioki, made this call after personnel responded to the distressing incident where a 40-foot loaded container fell onto a Toyota Camry at Mile 2 en route to Apapa. He noted that through the swift and coordinated response of emergency service providers, including the Federal Road Safety Corps, FRSC, and the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LRU, the driver of the vehicle was rescued alive. Bakaruki stressed that negligent, improper securing and latching of containers endanger lives and property, urging strict compliance with road safety protocols to avert such catastrophic occurrences. And now to the rest of the stories. The 16th Division of the Nigerian Army has dismantled 34 illegal refining sites, arrested 11 suspected oil thieves, and recovered over 80,000 litres of stolen crude and refined products during clearance operations across the Niger Delta region. Acting Deputy Director, 6th Division, Army Public Relations, Jonah Danjuma, noted that these operations, conducted between November 18 and 24, covered rivers, Bayelsa, Delta, Edo, and Akwa States. Danjuma said all arrested suspects have been handed over to the relevant authorities, while the recovered products were appropriately disposed of. Akwa Ibom State Government has launched an investigation into the state of boarding facilities in public schools following a viral video showing students of Presbyterian Senior Science College, IDIDEP, Ibom, eating substandard meals. Commissioner for Education, Idonga Sit, Etiebet, who stated this in New York, noted that she conducted an unscheduled visit to the school after the video surfaced online, sparking outrage over the poor quality of meals provided to students. She announced the immediate suspension of the school's principal, Unse Umo, pending the outcome of the investigation. Etiebet stressed that while the state's free education policy covered tuition fees but not boarding expenses, the welfare and dignity of students in public schools remained a top priority for Governor Umo Eno's administration. The commissioner also appealed for patience from the public as the investigation unfolds, adding that the administration remained committed to delivering quality education under the Arise agenda. And over to some foreign news. A far-right candidate, Kalin Georgescu, is set for a shock victory in the first round of Romania's presidential election, with preliminary results leaving the Prime Minister Marcel Ciolacu, who is his main pro-Europe rival, out of the race. And with more than 99% of votes counted, Georgescu, who is pro-Russian, has an unassailable lead of nearly 350,000 votes over centre-right candidate Elena Lasconi, with Prime Minister Marcel Ciolacu, the pre-election favourite, in third. The strong showing of Georgescu, who has no party of his own and campaigned largely on the social media platform TikTok, came as the biggest surprise of the election. Lasconi is now on track to challenge Georgescu in a final runoff on December 8th. And over to sports news. Nottingham Forest is confident that Nigeria's Olaino will put pen to paper on a new contract soon. Aina has few months left in his contract with the Premier League club. The Nigeria international would be free to negotiate with another club outside England at the start of next year and then leave as a free agent next summer. According to The Athletic, the fullback is now nearing a new deal and a bumper pay rise with Forest. The 28-year-old joined the Tricky Trees on a free transfer last summer and has scored twice in 34 league appearances. And that was our news at 12. But just before we go, do not drive without a valid driver license. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms: X, Traffic Radio 961, Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Subscribe and watch our news and programs live on YouTube, Traffic Radio 961. And you can also visit our website, www.trafficradio961.ng. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration launched LagRide with 1,000 units of sports utility vehicles? Well, you can get more details. It's on the Lagos State Government website. And to end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency, DSVA, set to revitalize commitment during the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence. The 6th Division of the Nigerian Army has dismantled 34 illegal refining sites, arrested 11 suspected oil thieves, and recovered over 80,000 litres of stolen crude and refined products during clearance operations across the Niger Delta region. We also told you that a far-right candidate, Kalin Georgescu, has been tipped up for a shock victory in the first round of Romania's presidential election, with preliminary results leaving the Prime Minister, Marcel Ciolacu, who is his main pro-Europe rival, out of the race. In sports, Nottingham Forest is confident that Nigeria's Ola Aina will put pen to paper on a new contract soon. And for contact with the newsroom, send a message to info@trafficradio961.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Adewale Boroku. Thank you for listening. My name is Mike James. Good afternoon.